Officially at that time of the year where it's still winter and I'm kind of just really over the gloomy and dark days. So today I want to romanticize everything out of this little winter day. I don't actually know if it's just me, but at this point I just feel like winter has been taking so long. Like for some reason I feel like it has been winter for months, which it kind of has been, but at this point I'm just kind of over it. Like, yes, I'm going skiing next week and I'm very excited for that because that's the thing about winter that I do really like. But just being home and the days being like so dark and I just want sunlight. I really need sunlight. So I feel like the best way to deal with that is to just romanticize every little detail. So I'm gonna be starting my day with a Legree class at Core 40 actually. This is the first time I'm going to this specific studio because I usually go to their most central location, which I think is also their most popular location. I think the one that I'm going to right now is like their second most popular location, but I'm excited to be trying out this different location. And I'm also feeling a little bit on edge because I literally haven't been to like any sort of Pilates class in weeks. I've mainly been running and going to a few like row cycle classes here and there, but I haven't actually done any form of Pilates in weeks, so I'm a little bit nervous, but we'll see how that goes. And I made myself a nice warm cup of tea and I just wanted to start with reading my book for a little bit because I'm trying to be more off my phone in the morning, and especially if I have a workout class booked in the morning and I can't really do anything like specific before that. I really hate doing something for only like 10 minutes. Like I just can't do that. So in my mind I can't really do anything before my workout, so I felt like just reading for a little bit and starting slow with a cup of tea would be a nice start to the day. We actually didn't really have that much of a nice start to the day because I was so tired last night that I went to bed and I first of all went to sleep with wet hair. So when I woke up my hair was a little bit like exploded, so I already put my hair up for the workout because it was frustrating me. And I also when I woke up this morning I realized that I forgot to take my contacts out, which is honestly so dumb. And to be fair, it rarely happens, but when it does happen it's so annoying because it's literally not good for your eyes. And also my eyes feel a little bit like itchy now, but I can't take them out because obviously I have to leave the house, and usually I would just take them out now for like a couple of hours, but maybe I'll take them out later when I'm working if they're still like itchy and I can just put on my glasses. But I woke up and I was like, there's something different, and I was like, wait, I can actually see something, so I forgot my contacts. So yeah, I'm gonna go change into my workout clothes and head to the studio, and I'm just gonna take you along for the rest of the day.
Come on, stop, turn the key and cooler on. Push the pause for relief. Free pass, you don't even have to ask to be the cat in the sun. Someday I will see the whole deal through. Today I've got better things to do. Okay, to leave a little bit undone and be the cat in the sun. Be the cat in the sun. set aside every empty spread.
I started work and now I'm about to go make a matcha, and I actually got something the other day to romanticize all of my iced matchas and coffees from now on. Let me show you. I got star-shaped ice cubes and then also these like round kind of ball ones, which are also very cute. But these star ones, they just make everything a little bit more cute, a little bit more whimsical. I'm so happy that I got these. I got them from a website called Nordic Nest, which is also where I got like the hay crates and everything from. So you'll probably find it if you look Nordic Nest star-shaped ice cubes, you'll find these. And also last week I actually found this vanilla sugar-free syrup at the grocery store, and I've been wanting to try this for a really long time, but I usually don't really often order things online. Like, I'd rather find it in a store. So every time I would go to the grocery store, I would look for this and they never had it. And we actually have like a couple of different grocery stores that we just rotate between. But there's one slightly bigger grocery store like pretty close to our apartment. And we were there last week and suddenly I saw that they had this, which made me so excited. And to be completely fair, I genuinely feel like this made my coffee sweeter than the regular vanilla syrup. But I don't really like using syrups too often, but that's why I wanted to get the sugar-free one, because I don't actually know if this is like healthier in any way, because it probably isn't, but it at least makes me feel a little bit better instead of using like the actual syrup. And to me, this genuinely tasted like the French vanilla syrup you get at like Dunkin' Donuts, because I used to get so many like sweet iced lattes, and especially with coffee, I prefer iced coffees to be a little bit more on the sweeter side, but not too sweet. And right now I'm gonna make a matcha. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of syrup just for the sake of it, but honestly, matchas I don't really usually use a lot of sweetener, because I always use coconut milk, which already makes it like naturally a bit sweeter. This is the one that I always use, which is literally the best coconut milk in the world. I also saw that they're discounted at the grocery store right now, so I might have to go there today and get like 8 packs of this coconut milk. But honestly, I have been really just leaning into the iced coffees and iced matchas again, especially because we got this syrup. Now I can enjoy my iced lattes at home again. And I also actually have 3 different matchas right now, which I usually don't have so much matcha, but this is the one that I had been using for a while, which is Mosi Matcha, like that. But this is the one that I normally always have, which is Yoisho Matcha, which is probably my favorite out of all of these. But when I ran out of this one, it was out of stock, so I had to try a different one. But now we got this again, because this one's almost empty. I might have to just finish this today, but I also really want to just open this one. And lastly, we have this pack of Lara Matcha that I got in a goodie bag the other day, and I'm also really excited to try this one because I love Lara Matcha, but I might just open this one because this is my favorite. I just always feel like romanticizing like a matcha or coffee moment. That's literally my favorite part of the day because of how much I romanticize it. And oh, I'm so excited to open my new matcha. Have it with my favorite coconut milk, a little tiny bit of sugar-free vanilla syrup, and then my starred ice cubes. Like, that is so cute. Okay, I'm done yapping. I'm gonna go make myself a matcha and then continue my workday.
Loosen up on the grind, simmer down, settle back and mess around. Be the cat in the sun. Someday I will see the whole deal through.
Okay, so let's actually talk about the winter blues. Every year I kind of forget how much winter and daylight and like lack of sunlight and daylight kind of affects me. I literally don't know why I forget about that sometimes, but sometimes I wonder like, oh, why is this happening? And then I realize it's because of the lack of like daylight and sunlight. And I've been trying to find some ways to approach winter a bit differently sometimes, and I feel like sometimes it's working and also sometimes it's definitely not working. But I thought I'd share some tips on things that personally help me, so maybe winter can just feel a little bit less heavy for you as well. First one also might be the most important one for me personally, which is create habits that you're actually excited about. Sometimes you can just be like, oh my god, I need to wake up at like 6 a.m. every single day, and that's just not gonna work, I can tell you that. But if you make it fun, so if you create habits that you're actually looking forward to, it might make it a little bit easier at least. I don't mean this in a way that waking up at 6 a.m. is suddenly going to be easy, because definitely not, and I definitely do not do that all the time. But a few examples of things that work for me are coffee dates, or just in general coffee moments, because that's something I genuinely just look forward to, and sometimes it does just get me out of bed. And workout classes also help. Definitely if you have like ClassPass or a membership somewhere and you have to pay to cancel it, it shouldn't be like that, but that definitely helps me motivation wise, because I'm not gonna pay a cancellation fee. That's just where I draw the line. So it does help me get out of bed in the morning if I have like an early workout class booked. And I actually like working out. If it's like a cool and nice workout class, I actually enjoy it. So that is something that helps for me. But if it's just making a coffee, that is also fine. I'm probably going to repeat that a few times, because my coffee or matcha moment is literally like highlight of my day, basically every day. And with that, I feel like something really important is making habits easier. Winter is just not really a season where you want to make things harder than they actually are. So if you want to do a workout in the morning, lay out your workout clothes the night before. If you want to read in the morning or in the evenings, lay your book like next to your bed or on your pillow, or just anything that makes the habit that you want to do easier. It's as simple as that. Even though that, also a little side note, I don't want to say that you have to do like a ton of habits, or even if you don't want to do any habits, that's also fine. I just know for me personally that it works to do my habits that I actually want to do, because it just gives a little bit of structure and it just makes you feel a little bit better. So I feel like it does help with the winter blues. But if you don't want to do that, that's also totally okay. Cozy hobbies over doom scrolling. I feel like that has been a big one for me, but also it's something that I still do way too much. I mean, I get it. When it's dark at like 6 p.m. and you've already had dinner, what else are you gonna do? Like, honestly, most evenings I can literally just scroll on my phone for a few hours, but that is not something that at the end of the day I actually want to do. So sometimes I do it, but most of the time I kind of want to do something differently. So I'm trying to lean a little bit more into cozy hobbies like journaling, especially baking. I actually haven't done this as much as I would want to, but I think baking is such a cozy activity. For in the evenings after work, I feel like just trying out new like baking recipes is such a nice way to unwind. So I definitely should do that more often. But just in general, like hobbies other than scrolling on your phone is a good thing to do in the evenings at this time of year. This also sounds like I hate winter, which I actually don't. Like snow and stuff, I love snow, and I love, not love. I can sometimes quite like winter, but at this point it's just taking too long and I want sun. So, and not specifically summer, but just the sun. Like if it's gonna be cold and sunny, like that's fine with me. But right now it's just always gray and gloomy. I'm saying that when it looks like actually the sun is shining a little bit. That would be nice for my walk later actually. But overall it's just all gray and gloomy weather, and I'm over it. Romanticizing the darkness is also one that is actually very helpful, but also pretty simple, because honestly, if it's dark at like 5 p.m, instead of getting very annoyed by that, light some candles, make a cup of tea, just make your space like very cozy, because if it's gonna be dark anyway, might as well make it cozy. Getting outside, which might be a little bit controversial, because I feel like a lot of people would much rather prefer to stay in during winter, but honestly, just getting outside for like 10 minutes every day is such a big help. I think it's also just important for like your whole health and well-being to go outside every day, but sometimes, especially if I start work and I just stay inside all day, it's so hard in the evening to be like, oh, I still need to go for a walk if you've been inside all day, and it's very easy to just stay inside. But I know that I feel so much better if I do actually go outside, and I prefer doing it in the morning, because if I haven't been outside all day and then in the afternoon I want to go outside, I'm like, oh, I've already been inside all day. I can just stay inside. And if I do it in the morning, I'm also a little bit more tempted to go outside again later in the day to kind of unwind and like close off the workday. I feel like just getting outside for a little walk, even if it's just 10 minutes, can definitely help. I basically have a few tips that kind of get to the same point, because the next one is moving your body and actually getting ready for the day. Moving your body kind of already goes with pretty much everything I've said so far, but just going out for a walk, like it doesn't have to be very complicated. Like I like to do workout classes and I like running. So for me, that's my preferred type of movement. But if you don't like sports, you can literally go for like a simple walk for 10 minutes and that's it. Like you don't have to make it very complicated, but just 10 minutes of movement every day can just make such a big difference. And about the getting ready part, this honestly is something I myself should listen to so much more, because it's really easy if you work from home like 99% of the time to just stay in pajamas all day. Like sometimes I can just wake up and when I like have nowhere to be at all and just don't have to see anyone, I can just put on comfy clothes and literally be in the same comfy clothes or pajamas all week, and then at the end of the week I feel completely disgusted by that. It also sounds really disgusting, but if you don't have anywhere to be, like who is gonna say you need to get dressed? And I know it makes a difference, but sometimes I don't know, I just stay in my pajamas all week, which is not good. And today I actually got dressed, but it's so easy to not get dressed if you work from home, but it's definitely something that I myself should work on a little bit more. Same goes for like makeup. You definitely don't need to do like a full face of makeup, which is something I don't do in general, but just putting on a little bit of mascara or a little bit of blush just adds a little bit of like warmth and just life in your face. I feel like it helps just lift up your mood a little bit. At least for me that's the case, because I can tell if I'm not really feeling good, if the weather's bad, and then if I don't have makeup on or like nice clothes on, I'm like, oh, and I just feel worse than I should, because if I got ready, I would have maybe felt a little bit less bad. I don't know, I do notice a big difference, and this is definitely something I'm working on, because sometimes I'm not listening to my own advice. Also, sticking to 1 or 2 goals every week can also help, because I feel like in winter it's very easy to get motivated but also overwhelmed, especially around New Year's and everything. You can be very overwhelmed with everyone saying, oh, I have so many New Year's resolutions and I'm gonna have so many goals that I'm gonna work on and all that crazy stuff. It generally makes it easier to only focus on like 2 goals a week, or this also counts for like daily. I used to make like an entire to-do list, and then I'd feel so frustrated if I didn't get around to do all those to-dos. So just focusing on a few priorities for the day or the week can definitely help with feeling a little bit less overwhelmed. Like especially if you want to work on those habits, start with 1 habit for like the entire week, and then the next week you can do 2 habits a day for a whole week. Maybe that helps just feeling a little bit just less overwhelmed, to be honest. And the last thing I want to mention is to have just some things to look forward to, because in summer and everything there's so many events and so many social plans, and in winter there's just less, and it's very easy to just stay inside and not see anyone and just not really have a lot of things to look forward to. But I feel like, at least for me, it definitely helps to just plan a few things, and it doesn't have to be very special. It can also be quite small, like trying a new dinner recipe, baking something, as I said, or meet up with a friend for like coffee or dinner, go for a solo coffee date, just anything small or big that you'd really look forward to, and that can also just motivate you to get through the rest of the week and days and everything like that. It can just definitely help. And for me, coffee dates is a big part of that, and just my morning coffee or meeting up with someone, or just honestly all those small things can definitely help get through the winter blues. And I feel like recently I've been kind of lacking planning things, mainly because I've also been a little bit busy recently, but honestly I should still plan like all the coffee dates and new dinner recipes and just all those things, because it just helps, because you'll feel excited about things, and then if the weather's bad you'll still have like exciting things. Like not your entire mood will be dependent on the weather, which I feel like is a very bad thing, because especially here in the Netherlands the weather can be very bad at times. So being dependent on that is not going to work for you, because if it's raining, which it is like 70% of the time, you're just gonna feel bad. So you gotta embrace it and still go on a coffee date, because then you'll have a cozy rainy coffee day, which is honestly also so fun. So yeah, I feel like these are just some things that personally help for me to get through the winter blues. And as I said, the sun is actually shining right now, which is so crazy to me. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm gonna go and continue my work because I'm not done with my to-dos for today, even though I only had like 3 to-dos. They were quite big, so I still need to work on that. And then I think I'm gonna go for a walk, because even though I have been outside, I haven't actually been for a walk because I cycled to my workout class, so I only have like 200 steps so far. I'm gonna go for a little walk, and then Jop's gonna come home. We're gonna make dinner. I'm actually really excited because I'm not actually trying a new recipe, but I have a very simple recipe that we've made once before, and it was actually super good. It was like chicken and vegetables with balsamic glaze and honey, and honestly the taste of that was amazing. And you just put everything in the oven and then you're done, basically. Yeah, very simple recipe, but very good. So I'm very excited to make dinner. And yeah, honestly, it's just a pretty cozy Monday, actually. I didn't want to take it too hard on myself today because it's the start of the week. I'm actually going on a trip next week, so this week is a little bit more stressful because of everything that I need to finish before we go. So I just didn't want to start this week off being very stressed. So I took it quite easy today, but still I am getting everything done. So that is honestly a really nice feeling. So yeah, I really hope my tips are going to be useful in any way. Just got ready for bed, and I know that earlier I spoke about like embracing the season and making everything cozy and just romanticizing everything, and I feel like that is something that is so good, but winter's also kind of the season of slowing down, so sometimes there's also something very cozy and comfortable about just an early night in bed. And sometimes that is just a form of self-care, like just having like a very early night, maybe read a little bit or watch a YouTube video or just anything that you like to do at night. And that is exactly what I'm gonna do and what I'm gonna end this video with, because it's legit 7:30, not even 7:30, it's 7:26, and I'm in bed and I'm ready to go to sleep. I think I'm gonna attempt to read a little bit, but I'm not really in a reading mood, so maybe I can find a nice YouTube video to watch. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in the next one.